This is episode 14 of Fresh Graduates. We've got the usual two today.
What's going on?
Hello, Mr. Terosa. How are you?
Good, Kevin. How are you going?
And hello, Mr. Duskovic. How are you going today?
I'm very, very good. Excited to be here.
Good morning, Mr. Duskovic.
Good morning, Kevin.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm here too.
Present.
Yeah.
Thought that was coming.
So, we're obviously wearing ties in our attempt at our old school uniform. And I think that's for a reason. Why is that, Kev? I think we have a special guest today, though. Give us an introduction.
Standing at 5'10", he's got a house, he's got a girl, he's got a nice paying job with nice figures. This is everyone from our year level, Luke Duskovic.
Yeah, give him a round of applause.
Nice introduction. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it.
So why are we dressed like this?
Because, as we've said before, we want to get interesting people, we don't get losers on this podcast, and and we have a very interesting guest today because he ventured out to be some of the people that we used to hate, and that is he is a teacher. So we wanted to ask you a couple of questions, Luke. And another thing is, this guy, he was in IE level 2, and how do you remember Luke? Let's go with that first.
Look, I feel like we have this 10-year thing that I haven't settled with you. Do you know what this is?
I've got no idea.
In year 12, we were playing soccer in the cage.
Yep. Love the cage.
You remember the cage?
Cage was
The
awesome.
cage was awesome. Yeah. It was made of concrete for everyone listening. Had like a 4 meter, 5 meter fence.
Yeah.
Had a bit of grass on the side, basketball courts, everything.
Is this your ball?
Maybe. Well, you got a soccer ball, and I was in goals, and you were about 2-3 meters out, and you booted the ball right at my face,
Oh, sorry about that.
and it missed me by maybe this much.
Oh, so I missed you.
Yeah, it missed me, but I gave you a little grease after, and I don't think you ever said sorry or.
Oh, sorry for nearly decapitating you,
Yeah,
Kev.
it's okay. Thank you.
10 years later.
Yeah.
So,
it was so much
so we're all good now?
It was better to get that off my
the-
chest.
The cage was awesome, though.
All the beef, we want to flatten it out before we have our reunion, and we're getting people ticked off in our year level. And Dusky, for me, I gotta be honest, man. My memories, I don't even remember how. I've told you, I don't remember how I met this guy as well, and I've spent nearly the last 10 years with this guy always. But you were always a good guy, Dusky. So,
Appreciate that.
it's nice to finally get it off my chest and let you know how I really feel about you. But that was a bit deep, wasn't it? Sorry.
It's a nice word.
So what do you do for a living?
Yeah. Let's
now,
ask
Duff?
him.
So I'm a senior school teacher. So I teach year 12 methods this year, year 11 methods, and I also teach VCE VM, which is the new VCAL. So yeah, I'm a teacher.
Sorry, what's it called? VCN?
It's called VCE VM, so vocational major. So it's not called VCAL anymore because they're trying to get rid of that stigma of VCAL is
It's a nice way of calling kids dumb.
it's essentially the melting pot of the junkyard of intelligence, you know what I mean? So they're trying to get rid of that stigma by calling it VCE VM. And you can actually now do VCE subjects and do that. So they're sort of changing the structure a bit, but it's still the same thing pretty much.
And how do you think the difference is from when we were in high school compared to how it is now?
For me, it seems like the kids are worlds apart. They weren't like us. They're not like we were. They're just strange. I don't know. Their social interactions are really odd. I find, but no, I love the kids. They're great. They're so nice, and I've got no complaints about them as students. But I think they're so different to us, and I don't know why.
Do you think that's because you're thinking oh, I'm an old head?
Maybe I just think I'm more mature than what they are now. But
You mature?
I don't know. I think I don't know if I was mature in high school, but these kids, some of them are 18 years old and they behave like they're 10. Some of them silly, slapping each other on the nuts and things like that. I don't know. Did we do that stuff? Maybe we did.
One of our good mates did that stuff.
Who?
A couple of our good mates did that stuff. Tiv.
Oh yeah, no. Tiv was a little pest. He loved that stuff. So
you just call Tiv immature, basically.
at least a little bit, but no, he's matured over the years. But he's always been that pesty kind of type.
So how do you discipline kids who are that type?
I feel like kids usually don't try to mess with me that much. I know that sounds like cocky or something, but I think they just sort of know that I don't take much crap, and that's pretty much what it is. Like, they don't really do that much. But if I do have to, I've got a pretty decent yell on me, and that usually does the trick.
Wow,
Yeah.
Dusky.
I can. My principal encourages me to practice. He's like, just pick one kid a week and just go in. And I'm like, so it's like he'll literally say like, dude, if you see a kid doing this, just pick him out and just yell at him and practice. You got to get better at it, like, you know, and it does work. Over time, you get better at yelling and disciplining.
Is your principal like divorced by any chance?
No, he's not. But he grew up in a war-torn country as a kid, and he's quite tough. So yeah, he grew up in the Croatian War, and he's tough.
Yes, I don't want to get too far ahead, but let's bring it back to our days, our good old days. Yeah. How was high school for you? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it brings in any like skills that you have now?
Well, I think I tried to model my current game off Mr. Stu Harrick. So he's so yeah, it did definitely. Heathdale was an interesting place. I got there in year 10. Yeah. And I guess in that first couple of years, it was just trying to like test the waters and which social groups should I hang out with and who should I be friends with and stuff. Especially early days, year 10. But then yeah, it was like year 12 was probably the best year of school.
And then you kind of realize we were all a bunch of weirdos at Heathdale, yeah?
Well, nah, like, it wasn't. It was weird because when I got there, I just didn't know if I'm like, oh, they're pretty nice, but like, are they popular? Like, do they have a are they losers? And this isn't not about you guys. I'm saying like, if I was friends with a group, I'm like, should I stick with them or is this a bad group to hang out with? And these were the thoughts I had going into Heathdale.
He knows. That's how I know Dusky was popular in his old.
Oh, but I was just like, you know, a normal student, but I just was worried. I didn't want to pick a group that was like loserish and be stuck.
So did you?
No, not at all. And to be fair, everyone was friends, so it didn't really matter in the end. But like, I remember my first week of Heathdale was sick. I remember just heaps of people were so nice. Everyone's talking to you. People knew my siblings though a lot. People talking about my siblings because I had a brother and sister that went, and the only person I knew at Heathdale before I went was Max.
Max Moraletta.
Pretty sure.
Why is that?
Pretty sure he was the only one that I knew because his sister was best friends with my sister, and he used to also catch the same bus as my brother home, and they used to walk similar paths because he lives pretty close to where I was. He was the only person I knew, but yeah, so everyone was really nice though.
Look at us, huh?
Yeah, so no, it was good. Good times, Heathdale. Loved it.
That's how you know Dusky was the bully in I. He was having a good time.
He was one of the bullies in our level, along with us too, though.
No, I agree. But Dusky was always nice. I just always remember you always had like kind of outspurts that were just like, what? Like that came from Dusky? Like I can't believe it. Like example for like you kicking that ball at Kevin's face.
Yeah.
In my head, you guys are like really close, obviously, and you still are. But then at that point, and I think the Sandeep thing already happened as well, right? Where he tried to kick the ball in your face as well.
What Sandeep thing?
Was that a thing or not? I'm cooking.
No, I think you're.
Okay, I'm cooking. Okay, but
I don't think I've ever had beef with Sandeep. I don't think you want to have.
No,
beef
I think from my memory, Sandeep tried to kick a ball in your face as well.
Well, look, I just want to put this out there. Sandeep cannot kick a ball, so.
He was good at centre back.
He was good at getting rid of the ball, but he was not good at aiming the ball. So
scary guy sometimes.
He was, yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
And that was so your experience from, I'm not gonna say the college, but that college and then versus Heathdale, it was completely different. Would you say?
Very different, I think.
Was it a private school as well?
Yeah, it's a Catholic school, Emmanuel College. And then went to Heathdale, which is a private school, and there's a lot of similarities in terms of like I think the rules and stuff. But in terms of the social groups, well, for starters, there was like no wogs at Heathdale. There was like there was no other wog guys there. Whereas I came from a school where all my friends were like wogs. So that was the first thing I noticed. I'm like, oh, I don't know. That was just something I noticed straight away. But everyone still likes super wogs. So that was good. I had a common ground with a lot of people, and then I think early days, like I made pretty good friends with you, Kev, and Yoss, and a few others, and around sport. So I love footy and soccer, and they did. So that was really, really good. But yeah, so I had really good first impressions, I think. Yeah. But yeah, just I think the people were quite different. school to school. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain that, but they just sort of were.
Why did you move over?
I was a bit of a drop kick at Emmanuel. So my mum sort of gave me the ultimatum, and she's just like, "You're just doing nothing at school." I had this best friend called Cody, and we would literally just do nothing for weeks on end in class. And I actually, when I left Emmanuel, it was Jumpstart Heathdale. We did like 4 weeks of year 10 at the end of the year. If you guys remember, we used to do that at Heathdale. And so I left Emmanuel with 5 weeks left to go, and I had probably about 6 assignments due that I hadn't started. Like stuff like that. Like I just would do things in a day, try and get them done. And mum's like, if you want to actually do something, you should probably move schools. I think you need to. And so I said, all right, sure. And my eldest sister and brother went to Heathdale, and they got a 95 and 98 respectively. So I'm like, maybe if I move, I'll actually have some success. And fair to say that I didn't get a 98, but
Well, still a lot better than both of us.
not great though. It wasn't a great ATAR. I wasn't proud of it.
So is that why you wanted to become a teacher? Because your ATAR wasn't great?
No, I actually knew I wanted to be a teacher from year 7.
Wow, really?
I had a conversation with a teacher called Mr. Kamanzuli, who was my homeroom, and I said to him like, "Why on earth would you be a teacher?" And he gave me a list of like 8 reasons. And I'm like, "Oh, that actually sounds
You
pretty
said
good."
that in year 7?
Yeah.
In that tone?
Yeah, I just asked him like, "Why on earth would you want to do this?" Because I remember everyone just mucking around and stuff in year 7, like no one does anything. And yeah, he gave me like a few reasons, and I'm like, that's actually pretty good. Like you get to help people, you get to teach what you really like and enjoy, you get to share knowledge, you get good holidays. That was always a big one for me. Good, like you get a good lifestyle balance. And then it was only affirmed in year 12 when I had Mr. Struharik as teacher, and he was like the best teacher ever.
He was a maths teacher then.
Yeah, he was amazing.
So he kind of encouraged you to take up teaching as well, or he inspired you to be similar like him?
He inspired me to be similar. I never spoke to him about it. In fact, I never really spoke to any teachers about wanting to be one because I was embarrassed, because I felt like I wasn't the student that they would expect to become a teacher, if you get what I mean.
I get you.
So I never spoke about it with them out of embarrassment. I'm like, I'm not that good of a student, like, and they want me to be a teacher, and they'll be like, so why do you act like this? Or why don't you study harder? Because I didn't study very hard. And so yeah, but he was very inspirational, like an amazing teacher. So yeah.
I don't remember you being like, you're making it sound that you're kind of like a rascal.
I wasn't that bad, but I just feel like I didn't put in as much effort as I should have. And
For me, you were always like smart in my head. That's how I saw you. 'Cause you were
Yeah.
always like in methods.
well, yeah, I think
And you were didn't you do physics?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. That was my lowest score. We weren't good at physics. You weren't good at physics either, Dave.
I didn't pass anything.
I think that was more of a teacher issue than
I actually bumped into Mr. Marzi about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
At a bar,
at a bar.
Well, a bar restaurant at Williamstown, and I was on a date with my girlfriend, and he was on a date with his wife, and I was just having a chat to him for like 20 minutes, and he actually remembered me, and I couldn't believe that. And he said, I always liked you in my class because you were interesting, and I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
That's not a bad compliment there.
But I always remember from physics, there was a day where you, Sandeep, who were the other two? I
Kiddis
reckon
was there.
Kiddis and Nikki.
Yeah.
4 of you got held back after class, and I reckon I was the next person in line.
Oh, because we failed.
Yeah, like he held you back to have a deep chat about like what are you doing. I remember I think I avoided it. I would have been the very next person in line, I reckon, but I just avoided it.
Oh man, that physics class was so good. We were supposed to go on so many excursions. We didn't go in a single, because it's physics. Think about it. It's quite a visual subject. You can imagine it, but then never once did our teacher bring us out, and he just kept telling us off because like I think that is it a bell curve? The way that that curve in our class, there's all these like, at least like I reckon 40% of the class is in the very smart, and then you got like 3 people that are in the middle, which is probably Dusky, I would say, and then you got like me, Nikki. I wouldn't say EJ, but EJ was pretty close to there. Then Sandeep, and then Kiddis, and we were just like, what are we doing? And I remember in year 11, me and Kiddis, we were having a chat like, oh, what subjects should we do? And I'm like, dude, like look at our subjects. We're doing vet engineering, we're doing like viscom, like all these easy subjects. Let's do one hard subject. And we did physics, failed it from year 11.
It was hard, man. It was actually hard though. It was so hard.
And that's what I'll bring back. I'm so like stupid that I didn't realize until the end that you with physics, you have to understand like chapter 1 to get through to chapter 12. I always thought like you kind of treat each chapter separately, but then if you didn't get chapter 1, you'll never understand chapter 11 or 12 because you're using things from chapter 1. But you know,
Yeah, physics was crazy hard.
that was a hard subject.
Yeah.
What would you say was your favorite subject in high school?
Definitely Out to Red. Out to Red was awesome.
Yeah.
And I got my best score in Out to Red, I think, because it was so much fun.
Mm.
And our teachers were really good. We had
Mr. Graham.
Mr.
Oh,
Graham,
we did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gunn, and Mr. Parker
Your
was
man,
really
yep.
good too. And Methods was my second favorite, so
Yeah.
which is what I teach now, which is now my favorite subject. So yeah, it's a good subject.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And like going back to you not being able to like kind of tell the teachers and that. So are you proud to say that you're a teacher now? Would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like a lot of people just know me now as just the teacher, I guess. So it's something I definitely carry with me, and I love my job. I don't go into work thinking it's like a dreadful thing or anything like that. So I compare it to like my days when I worked during uni and I was a forklift driver and I was a labourer. And those days when you did like a 8-hour shift, it felt like you were there for like a whole day, like 24 hours. But when I'm a teacher, like it never feels like a day goes long, which is good. Like work always feels like it's short and sharp. You're in and out. I don't do too much work at home. A lot of teachers will say they do, and they probably do, especially primary. But if you're a high school teacher and you've got your stuff in order, you can sort of just roll on pretty well. So yeah, if you put in the work early, you can.
Did you jump straight into VCE like that?
Yeah, so I joined a school which is only teaching 10 to 12. And so my first year I taught 11 special, 11 methods, and 11 general maths. And year 10 maths as well. And the school, it was their first year of having year 11. So I had to write the whole curriculum for special. And I had to write the whole curriculum for methods pretty much. With a mentor for methods, but special by myself.
I thought there's like a curriculum that's already set out, then you just got to like teach it.
Yeah, so there's a study design and there's a textbook, or there's multiple textbooks, but it was my job to make all the SACs. It's my job to make all any online content, and you have to put everything online, so it's your job to make Google Sites and stuff like that. So, but particularly making the SACs was hard. But yeah.
Can I ask you a question and you got to be honest about it? Have you ever used ChatGPT yet for any of your exams? That's a fact.
Not for my exams or SACs. I've done it for a few posts that I've made because like I'm a coordinator as well, so we have to like, you know, say stuff to the whole year level. And so, I had to write like a yearbook message to my year level, and I put it into ChatGPT a little bit. And
what was it?
Just like, you know, I'm so proud of this cohort, and we've done so much together, and your resilience has paid off, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. But you can, we've caught a few kids using it though. Yeah. And it's gotten them 0 scores on their SACs. So it's been an interesting year with that first time sort of coming in. Yeah. I think it started last year though, but this year we've caught at least 4 kids using it, I think.
For methods though?
No, not for methods, for like applied computing and stuff.
Like writing essays and that.
Coding as well.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure what they do in that subject, but they did use it for coding, I think. And the teacher's like, I've never taught this code in my life to them. That's like a university level code, and they chucked it in their SAC.
But it's probably right though.
Yeah, no, it probably was, but yeah, it wasn't their work. So,
That's so good.
Yeah. And we actually had an incident where the English SAC got cheated. Like there was 12, the prompts got leaked by one of our teachers actually, but it got leaked. And then like all the students knew what the prompt was and stuff. So that was interesting. We had to have the authentication committee meet with all the students, and I was part of the committee and stuff. But yeah, so
it's always funny how like if the kids just use their smarts for cheating,
yeah, they
if
put
they
a lot of
just
effort.
apply that effort into studying,
Yeah,
you'd probably do really well.
but some of them aren't smart enough to cheat well either. We catch them every time. So yeah.
So it's a year 12 exam period coming up, correct?
Yes, correct.
So does your students' scores reflect like your teaching abilities or anything?
Yeah, it does a little. So like your principal might look at the data once it's done and then decide on which classes they want you to teach the next year. So like if they think you did really poorly with your cohort, they might be like, oh, we don't want him to go with that that subject again. So yeah, it can.
So like let's say hypothetically, if all your students score under 25 in methods, what would happen to you?
I think I'd probably have to have a meeting with my boss, and he'd just be asking me like what went wrong, and I'd have to explain that it's probably more their fault than mine, I hope. But yeah, I
Do
don't
we
know.
think Mr. Marzi had that meeting with the principal then?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It was like 40-50% in that class was so smart, and then you just got like literally there's a area in the physics class, just this corner. We're all grouped up in the dumb corner, and so yeah. But I think that's kind of what happened to Mr. Lamprecht with geography.
Oh, what happened to him?
'Cause we all did pretty bad with geography. That I think they didn't continue it.
Was that a subject in year 12?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did it.
We did it.
How many kids were in that class?
It's like 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had that boat trip in year
That
12.
was fun.
That was sick.
You had a boat trip.
No,
Yeah.
no joke.
Where'd you
I
go?
think-
Queenscliff Harbour.
That's sick.
Yeah, we went to like Swan Island and saw the seals
That's so
and did
cool.
all that stuff.
I should have done geography.
Yeah.
No,
And
you
it-
should know. You should know.
I picked the most boring electives in my opinion, but yeah.
I think geography was one of my favorite subjects for sure.
It
'Cause
was because
it was so fun.
we could just bludge it the whole time.
Were you with me when we skipped class and we went to the cinemas? With TV?
We went to the cinemas a lot. I reckon, was there a big group of us?
Yeah, there was a big
I
group.
went to
and
that.
then we
yeah.
watched
Was that Gone Girl?
Gone Girl.
Gone
Yeah,
Girl,
yeah.
yes. There was at least 12 of us, I reckon. And it
How did we
was,
go?
you know what was sick though? Tiv's discount,
Yeah.
like free movie ticket,
Yeah.
and you spend $5 and you get large drink, large popcorn, and a choc top.
What a good guy.
It was
That movie
so
messed
good.
me up, man.
That was a great movie.
That was a good movie.
So there was 12 of us. And then we had geography, that subject.
Did
I
we
remember.
skip geography?
We skipped geography, and then we got towards the end because like the movie didn't. I think it was a double geography, and we just walked into class, and
Yeah.
Mr. Lamprecht didn't even ask.
Yeah,
us
right.
anything. We're just like, oh, we just keep studying, go guys.
But I swear back then our teachers used to always rock up late too. Like I remember Mr. Hallett one day didn't rock up to class, and we were doing like videos in the class of us doing wrestling moves and stuff.
Was that for history?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember.
Do you remember that?
There was we were diving through like that hula hoop ring.
Yeah. I think that would be in somewhere in my archives. Like I would have that somewhere. Our teachers used to always rock up late.
Do you ever do that?
No way.
Is that because you're like disciplined, or is that because you'll get in trouble?
No, just like no one at my school. I don't know. Like no one rocks up late to their class. Like my students are there early too.
Man, so there's just no accountability.
Like
at
it's our culture.
at our
We don't
at
have
our
school bells.
We didn't.
Okay.
Know, what?
We don't even have school bells.
Oh, what? How do you get to?
Like we just look at our watches and we're just like, kids, time to get to class, and we send them in like 5 minutes early. And so yeah,
Hmm.
like yeah, we don't have bells because then kids wait for the bell and then they go, which is what I used to do in school too.
Oh.
Like we'd always come late after lunch.
Yeah, well, especially after you nearly kicked the ball in my face.
But did you guys also ditch that day when we had an incursion? Like I lost my year 12 privileges over this.
That incursion was for. Oh, I don't remember. Can you remind me?
Well, I think we had an incursion at school and the note said year 9s, 10s, 11s, and 12. Girls and 12s. And so I thought it was just girls. And so I didn't go and I revised at home. And I remember I told the truth to Mr. Niefling, who was our coordinator. And it turned out 90% of like the boys wagged. No one went to this incursion.
Oh, I think I remember this.
And I think it was about like rape culture and stuff,
I
which
think I
probably
remember
made it look worse. And so no one went, but a lot of the boys like faked sickies and stuff. But I just told him the truth, and I lost my privileges to go home early. To what else was there? To go to the plaza at
Plaza at
lunch.
lunch. Yeah.
To go in the canteen. Yeah, like the year 12s had their own line for the canteen. Wasn't allowed to go in that.
Who cares?
But yeah, did you guys ditch that?
I don't think I did.
I think I ditched that from memory. I think I remember a lot of the guys ditched. So, and I think we would have talked about it too. That we were just like, oh, let's not go. What the hell is this? But I don't know. So you came at year 10. Did you do?
Yeah.
This is a bit of a weird question. Did you do sex ed with us? Sex ed.
What was it like? Abstinence ed? Was it more like just don't have sex? Was that what it was about?
It was, yeah.
I think I remember. Yeah, that was like maybe the second week. That was like
Man, what a way
it was
to-
a really like a baptism of fire.
What a way to get you in.
Again, like I don't know what to do in those situations. I'm at a new school. Like, how do we treat something like this? Is it a joke or
Yeah.
yeah?
And then you realize we're all kind of like brainwashed because if you didn't like, was your brother there since prep and that?
Nah. So my siblings did it in high school, like 7 to 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my brother graduated in 2011. So
No, I remember because I think my sister was with your brother.
oh right,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think she graduated. Yeah, 2011. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's when she graduated.
yeah,
But
yeah. I remember sex ed. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, what about it? Why'd you bring it up?
no, because I'm just curious because obviously our school was a Christian school, and coming from like his private school and then coming to that, I'm always curious how people perceive like the environment of Heathdale.
Yeah.
And it's interesting the way that he's breaking it down now. And he does, like, be honest, it's a bit weird.
It was a bit weird.
It's a bit of a weirdo school.
It is a little weird.
Yeah.
Like,
But the thing is, when you've been there for so long, you think it's normal.
think it's normal. Yeah.
That's the thing.
it was kind of weird that no one disliked each other as well, which is, that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
It's actually a good thing, but it is kind of strange.
We were all like family.
Yeah.
That's rare too. It's only just our year level.
Like everyone, there was no fights.
Yeah.
Like no, there was never a fight when we were there. I don't think when I was there.
Not like a real fight.
Yeah, no, like proper, like besides like the octagon in the
Yeah.
in the common room.
It's a good
Besides
question. Who'd you ever fight with? Did you
that,
fight
I
with?
dropped Tiv once. It was great. It was in front of a lot of people as well, and I think I like celebrated too hard, which is embarrassing. I shouldn't be celebrating that, but yeah, I dropped Tiv. It was great.
Nice.
He like jumped me from behind. And
Oh, did he get on your
Yeah.
nerves?
Oh, I just like I was just walking
Get on
through,
your
and he
nerves.
just jumped on me like the guy that he was, and I just grabbed him.
So yes, he did get on his nerves.
Yeah. Going back to you as a teacher, because I'm curious about like how you transition now from being a student to being a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, how do you motivate yourself every day, like as a teacher?
I think the biggest motivation is watching your kids achieve. So when your kids like get stuff and when they get like really high scores and stuff, that's the best part. There's obviously the disappointing times where they don't and they don't do as well as they should. And
Just make the test easier, man.
but I push them so hard though. Like,
So good.
I really do push them hard and I want them to do really well. And I think that's the main motivation, just like getting them to do their best in my subject. And that's what I'm paid to do. So
So good.
I think that's pretty much it. Like there's nothing, I mean, it's self-fulfilling to watch them do well, I guess, in a sense.
It's like you just got grown-up kids already, and then you kind of adopt them. And
Yeah.
then get with them for a year. Is it like, do you teach the same class for 1 year? And
Not necessarily. Like I think you sort of, students change subjects and all that sort of thing. So I've taught, for example, I taught advanced math last year and I've taught methods this year. So some of the kids came with me, some of them went to a different class. So you get sometimes you don't.
And you also tutor on the side, don't you, as well?
Yeah, I do tutor on the side, but yeah, don't love tutoring, but it is good
Do I make a quick ad?
money. Nah, I've got enough clients.
Wait, why don't you like tutoring?
It's just like you get home from work and then you got to set up more work, and it's just like it's annoying. But I feel bad because they're coming towards exams, so I don't really want to ditch my students now. And then next year they're going to be in year 12, and I don't really want to ditch them then because that's the most important year. So I'm probably going to do it next year again with the same students. But it is a bit of an annoying thing.
Do you reckon your students talk crap about you?
I reckon. I always wonder how many memes have been made of me by my students. Is what I wonder.
Because you know how we used to always make memes of our teachers.
Yeah,
You reckon
yeah.
they're like,
I watch like Instagram reels and I'm like, and they'll be talking about, the English teacher going on maternity leave for 10 years and stuff. And I just, I wonder like what they write about me as a maths teacher. Like, when my maths teacher, when I don't round properly and it's just like some guy cracking it or something. Like, I feel like they'd have so many. So yeah, probably do.
you know how like we used to get away with so much like stuff, like when the teacher's writing on the board, we used to do all that stuff. Yeah. Like, that you used to do all that. So do you recognize when kids are doing?
But again, kids don't do that these days. I'm telling you guys, they don't. They don't. At least at my school, they don't. Not as mischievous as you'd think, and they're just very. I don't know. They're just different. They spend more time. Their most mischievous thing would be like watching YouTube while you're teaching. They're not actually like. They're not flicking like pens at each other, and they're not. Remember people used to make wasps? They used to like get the elastic
Yes.
band and like.
Dude, I remember.
this guy.
Yeah, I would come home, get all my paper like cut,
Yeah.
and just start like making my wasps. So the next day, and then Chloe, no joke, she would always bring a rubber band that was like this big.
Yeah.
Bang, and
That was
just
brutal, man.
it was so fun.
It was fun though. Yeah.
And then
it was
you
so
set up
good.
your borders
Yeah.
like as soon, and then when it comes up, you just know that everyone needs to put theirs up as well.
Yeah.
And as soon as the teacher
As soon as
turns
the teacher
around,
turns, you would stand up.
and then when you get hit, you gotta act like you didn't get hit. And I don't know if you remember Josh B. Do you know who Josh B is?
B.
Do you
I
know
don't
who
know
Josh
who
B
Josh B
is?
is.
There's a guy that was in A level as well. But no joke, it would be so funny because I would always hit him, and I was like tight with him. But it's just more funny when you hit your friends, right? And then his ear would be like glowing red. And then the teacher turns around and is like, "What's going on?" And you're just like, "Nothing." And then your ear's just like as red as a pumpkin or whatever, man. It was the best. So kids aren't doing that nowadays.
No, not
I
really.
guess.
But like, do you remember the Apta Red classroom we were in? It was like that upstairs one. I remember at the back of the room were all like the hiking bags, and when the teacher would turn around, would obviously like be shooting wasps at each other. And I remember like one day they lifted up like all the bags, and behind them there was just like 100 of these pieces of paper folded up from like all the wasps we'd been throwing at each other. So good. It's so fun.
Why don't you think kids do that nowadays?
I've got no idea. I just there's not that much mischievous stuff. Like they play fight a little bit, and we're pretty strict as well. Like everything gets documented now on this app called Compass. So like every kid's profile is on Compass. Everything they've ever done that we've recorded is on there.
So is every school using Compass?
Every public school does, yeah. I don't know about private schools, but pretty much every
Pretty
public
good.
school.
So then kind of your record stays with you.
Yeah, and like when I have a parent meeting, because as I said, like I do like year 12 coordinator as well, and especially in year 11 last year, a lot of kids are like suspended for like whatever, and we'd have like a parent meeting, and I'd just have like a printed copy of all of their things, and there'd be like 10 things written down from teachers, like, you know, this kid was play fighting in class, or this kid didn't bring his books, or whatever it might be. Yeah, it's not. Doesn't even have to be big stuff. Like, I just, just slam him
But
about
it's
anything.
discipline, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
lateness.
means a
Like
lot.
if a kid's late, just slam him. Detentions.
You were lucky no one slammed you for being late.
Well, yeah, but I think the teachers felt bad for me because I used to have to travel so far.
You had to travel far.
You had a bus.
Where did you travel?
I would ride my bike from my house to Aircraft, catch the train from Aircraft to Hoppers, and then ride from Hoppers to Heathdale. I'm like that.
You're like
yeah.
Danny Yang vibes. Like he was doing pretty far.
Danny
walking.
Yang.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, I don't know. He was like trained it to somewhere and then had to walk. Yeah.
Yeah, but the teachers felt bad for me, I think, so it was good. I used to come late every day.
It's just blowing my mind now that you're like explaining how you were in high school, because I
Yeah.
genuinely don't remember you being so like.
I wasn't that bad, I don't
Yeah.
think. Like, I was pretty respectful to the teachers.
I think so.
But I used to...
But I didn't even know you kind of had that side.
I used to just have a good time, though. It was so much fun. I
You're
think
shifty, man.
year 12 was the most fun year. That common room was the best.
The best.
The best.
When we would play poker.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it was so good. So good.
With
That
the
was the
beer.
only thing that took me away from the cage was poker. Yeah.
But even that cage, that's a OHS like hazard, man. Like the fact that that concrete was like, it was so exposed. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
smooth concrete.
Nah.
So as soon as you graze your thing, bro,
Man.
half of your skin was like.
And like your hands would have like all the gravel in them and stuff.
And the amount of times we kicked the ball over the fence into the nursing
The
home. as
nursing
well.
home.
It would have killed at least like 4.
I think one time Fez kicked it and went so high and it landed right like on the roof. And it was like a big tin, like bang, the biggest bang ever. And this lady like screamed. She's just like, ah. We're all pissing ourselves. And then I think we got in trouble for that. But yeah. And the poor PE people had their office right next to it
Yeah.
as well. And we used to like, when the cage wasn't open, we'd just be like belting the ball like in that little area.
Oh,
before it.
yeah. I remember
And
that.
it would always slam into their office like windows. It was funny.
Do you think you don't go back to Heathdale because if the teachers saw you again, is that part of the
Nah,
reason?
I would go. I would teach back at Heathdale. I think the environment would be really good. Like, just good morals there. Good, like, they've got good programs and stuff too. Like, our year 12 camps and excursions and all that stuff. So, I think it'd actually be really good.
Yeah.
Valedictory, stuff like that. So, not that other schools don't do that, but I think Heathdale actually has good culture, to be fair.
And plus, they've put all the money in the
Yeah, now
classrooms
you
now.
got the nice offices.
Yeah,
the
it wouldn't
nice
be.
buildings.
Oh, man.
Remember some of the rooms that we had? It didn't even have like a working.
I feel like I
aircon.
have
Yeah.
asbestos right now.
I remember like at Heathdale, like my first sack that I did or whatever in year 10 English was in this room and it was like 38 degrees outside and the aircon didn't work. And I'm like, what have I come to? Like, I thought this school's meant to be this expensive private school that mum sent me to get better. And I'm like, we don't even have an aircon.
He had that, then he had like sex ed in his second week, and then whatever.
And Coral Comp,
Yeah, and oh yeah, then you had to end it with
which
Coral
I
Comp.
wagged Coral Comp too. I remember.
I mean, like the worst 2 months for you.
Yeah, that first month was interesting at Heathdale. I remember, yeah.
Singing, man. Singing for a competition.
Forced to sing.
Yeah.
Only Heathdale.
Yeah.
So you mentioned one of the things you like about teaching is holidays, right?
Yes.
How was your trip to Japan?
Yeah, Japan was awesome. Japan is such an interesting place But if I was to go again, it wouldn't be in September. Too hot. So, but Japan is, I would recommend anyone goes. Like, it lived up to the expectations. Everyone talks so well about it, and it was amazing. You guys got to go.
How did they feel about that new movie coming out, Oppenheimer?
Oh, couldn't tell you, mate. None of them speak English. Not one Japanese person speaks English at all.
Yeah, so how do you get around?
Which I found interesting because
Yeah.
in Europe, everyone pretty much speaks English.
Yeah. How do
yeah.
you get around in Japan though? You just have a Google Translator.
Google Translate a little bit, or usually just like pointing at stuff,
Yeah.
like showing them something and like pointing, like on the menu, point. Like you can't say anything, besides like hello and thank you. So
Yeah.
How
How do you say thank you?
Arigato.
Yeah, I was gonna say something gozaimasu. What is it?
Oh, arigasaimasu. Something like that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but nah, cool country. Everyone's so nice. The cities are quite like cool, but I'm not that much of a city person. But the countryside is amazing.
Yeah,
Countryside's sick.
I heard it's less touristy as well, the countryside.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, it certainly
preferably-
is.
And the culture is still, rather similar.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like we went to the top of this mountain. So I went with my girlfriend. We went to the top of this mountain. It was like 1,100 meters high, and you catch like the cable car up and stuff. And then you go even further up with like a chairlift, like when you go to the snow. And on the way, if you don't want to catch the chairlift, you can walk it. And there's like all these random Japanese games as you go up the hill. They've got like pogo sticks. They've got all this random stuff that you can play. So yeah, it's an interesting place. Like they're very much about their own culture. They're very, not westernized, which is cool.
Yeah.
I respect that a lot. So
They're an interesting culture. What I love about the Japanese is they'll perfect one craft for like 30 years and they'll be satisfied about it. They're like, oh, that's it. That's my whole life. Yeah. What do you like?
You told me you bought a.
I did not buy. Definitely did not.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how to like say it. Yeah.
Definitely did not. No.
Did they all talk in that cute voice?
Yeah. I got the guitars. Like when you leave, I got the guitars.
Yeah.
Konnichiwa.
They like doing that.
Yeah, they do.
You think it's fake?
Oh, I don't know.
I reckon it is.
It's weird because the Japanese, so we went to Hiroshima as well, and you learn about the history of all that stuff. And they were ruthless. Like, the Japanese in World War II were, like, savages, man. And they killed. And
Both are countries.
Yeah,
Yeah, like-
finesse us, man.
and
gone.
they were tough people. And now they're just,
they're
like...
going to Vietnam.
Now they all just look like femboys and stuff. Like, they don't...
Yeah, you got nuked once.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
twice, sorry.
Like, if you were a Japanese...
The radiation mess with their heads, man.
Well, if you were a grandparent, like, now, from back... And you lived back then, you grew up, and you saw your grandkids are, like, what they have now. How would you feel? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you know what I mean, but...
I know.
No,
what
I
you
get
mean.
what you mean.
I get what you mean. But the fact that they still, like, instead of taking over the world, like, through dominance, like, physically, they took over the world through, like, technology and
Yeah.
everything else, you know?
Pretty amazing.
It's they did so well.
Like,
they're
As bad as it was,
inspiration.
they were so good that they had to have a bomb dropped on them. Like,
Exactly.
2 bombs. Like, that's crazy. Like, nuke bombs.
We're lucky that literally Japan and Germany never were, like, close together. Because if that was the case,
we'd be
I
speaking
think we'd be
Japanese
done.
Yeah.
right now.
Or
Yeah.
German.
Yeah, or German.
But, like,
yeah.
the Japs were actually coming pretty close to Australia when that was all happening. Like, the next place they were going was Darwin, I think.
No, they attacked Darwin.
No, they attacked on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You should know.
I'm not on the right side of history. Yeah. Well, it's pretty crazy, though. But, yeah. You should go. You guys should go. I know you went to Singapore, but
Yeah.
that sounds like a good trip.
It was, but I would love to go to Japan, but I wouldn't go to main areas.
Yeah. Look, I'm not a city person. Like, Tokyo's too busy for me.
Yeah,
But it's fun. Like, it's cool.
No, but
And-
even Singapore, you get so overwhelmed with like how many people are in like one area.
Yeah, and people line up for everything. Like the line for the public toilet, like 20 people. Line for a restaurant, you can wait 1 hour just to get into a restaurant. Not worth it. Like, not worth it at all when you want to wait that long. So, but the food was amazing though. I'll say that.
Yeah. Recommend to go to Japan, eh? How long
Absolutely.
did you go for?
17 days. So left on the Thursday before the school holidays and got back on the Sunday, the day before we came back. So, I think it's a good amount of time.
Yeah, 7
but it's
days.
pretty expensive.
You reckon Sab thought you were gonna propose?
No, she requested that I didn't.
Oh.
Because she thought that I wouldn't be able to organise a proper proposal overseas.
Oh, you would have done a Matt Lamb.
And you know what? She's spot on. But there was a spot that was like absolutely perfect. So if you guys ever take your girl there, I'll tell you where to go. I'll tell you where to go to ask her.
Nice guy, Dusky.
Yeah, Yeah.
Propose you.
And then you'll think of me when you propose.
I always think of you, man.
Nah, but I like obviously I'm thinking about it, but not on that trip.
So you're thinking about it. So is there like a E ETA?
Wait. Does Seb?
Yeah, we've talked about it at some point.
We
next
can
year.
always cut this
We'll
out.
cut
Yeah,
it
no,
out.
at some point next year would be probably ideal. Haven't thought about when, but some point next year.
Good stuff.
But you got to think about that stuff, I think.
Yeah. How long have you been with your?
We've been dating me and Sab for
Is it Sab?
Sabrina.
Oh, I thought it was Sabrina. Sabrina. Sorry.
Sabrina.
Yeah.
We've been dating now for just like over 2.5 years, I think. Yeah. So, but I remember even before our first date, we were talking about that stuff, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, anyway. Like I remember she was asking me about like how many kids do you want before our first date?
That's an Asian thing, though. I feel.
Maybe, yeah.
It is because we generally want. We're not. Although I still want some for the streets, if you know what I mean. But,
Yeah, I'm usually. I usually get
he's trying to
those
pick
ones.
those ones
Yeah.
up.
That's your clientele.
But I think generally in an Asian culture, because you want to bring someone to your parents as well that's like willing to, okay, they want to start a family.
Yeah.
How was that, like meeting Asian?
Well, her mum definitely didn't want her to get another boyfriend. That was for sure. Because she'd broken up with her ex just before that, like maybe 4 months prior. And then when she told her mum she was dating me, her mum was like so anti.
Yeah.
And
Was
when
he
I-
Asian as
Visual
well?
white.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Could have been. But yeah, they're good. Like we're good now. But at the start, it was a bit.
Could you understand them or?
Yeah. They speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah, they speak English.
Why are you laughing?
Do the mum's accent.
She on the phone. Sabrina. That's how she talks.
Are they like Aussie Asian or?
Like, nah, they are 50-50, I guess. Like, they can speak fine English, but yeah, Viet. They came in the 80s or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's fine, man.
80s,
You've been
90s,
here for a
90s
minute.
probably, I'd say. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, nah, it's all good. Very different to my family, though. My family's, like, very big. Family comes over, like, every second day. Like, when I was at my parents' house, my nonna and nonna would come over all the time. And we have big dinners all the time, so they're not like that.
They're quiet, man.
Well,
Them
she's got
Asians.
one cousin.
Yeah.
Like, one cousin that she sees. It's so weird to me because I've got countless.
What's her background? Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do a tea ceremony.
A what?
Yeah, you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to have like a white wedding, and then you're gonna have to at some
Yeah,
point have
an
like
Asian
a
wedding.
Vietnamese wedding.
Too much money.
Yeah,
You know
and
the rice hat?
Yeah.
They're gonna make you wear it, and then
you're gonna have to like give out money to every relative, like legit.
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah,
yeah.
and do all that BS.
It's not BS. It's your culture, man. What are you saying?
Yeah, but it is BS. So yeah, good luck with that. Whenever that happens.
Have you ever has Sabrina been like, oh, try this, and then it was like dog or something?
What did I try? A durian I tried. That was terrible. You know
Oh.
the fruit? Durian?
Yeah, we love durian.
Actually
Durian is
disgusting.
fire in your-
It's
Actually,
so nice.
I remember when I was working in the warehouse, we got a whole shipping container of durian fruit, and it
Oh,
stuck.
yeah.
It does stink.
Dude, our warehouse was
warehouse.
Yeah, it does.
so our warehouse was probably just the one building the size of about 10 basketball courts put together, maybe more, and it stunk out the entire thing. And we were in a cold storage where things don't really smell, like everything's frozen. They came frozen, and they still reeked. It's crazy.
It does stink.
Expensive too.
Mm.
It's expensive too.
Yeah, it's very expensive because it's I think it's tropical.
But like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if your family's the same, but her family always has like really weird Asian fruit, like weird looking fruit.
I mean, I've got like dragon fruit and lychee at my house. And
Yeah,
all
like
that
lychees
stuff,
and stuff. They're weird.
but- why are they weird?
They just are. And like durian, like who eats durian? Like I've
Do you
never.
have any Asian questions for us?
Asian
You might as well get
any
it out
burning
now.
Asian
Yeah.
questions.
That you can't ask Sab because you might like piss off a family.
I don't know. I don't know if I have any burning Asian questions. I don't know.
We can see like as much as you guys can as well. That's for sure.
Might have asked Josh that once.
We're
He
also
definitely can't.
yeah, we're also the same size, by the way.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Anyways,
Is that fact or is that just your?
Well, I'm size 11 feet. So.
Oh. yeah.
So you've you've bought a house with Sabrina, right?
Yeah, me and Sab bought a house, which is pretty crazy.
How,
but
how
yeah.
is that?
Yeah, it's good.
Like the process of all that?
Well, she did most of the work for buying it. I sort of was just there, I guess, and signed paperwork. She organised like.
But it's your money.
Yeah, no, yeah, and it was her money too. But like, she organised. What do they
Girls
call
are
them
more
again?
organized, man.
What do they call them? The
Prenup?
conveyances and stuff.
Yeah, conveyances.
And she
Broker.
spoke, yeah,
Yeah.
the brokers and all that. So she organised all that stuff, and I sort of just tagged along and said, yeah, this house is pretty good. And it was cheap at the time, so yeah, and we got in just before the interest rate hike, which is good too.
I think this is our first guest who
Has a house.
who has a house.
Yeah,
So yeah, congratulations.
We all
on
live on
being,
the street. That's
yeah,
why.
almost. We're all still at home. So
I do miss home
congrats.
sometimes. Like I miss having less responsibilities. My parents did everything for me. Like I used to help out with some housework, but dinner was always on the table. It was always elite food, like mainly food. I can't cook.
Remember in high school when you used to bring that big tub of like
Yeah.
sugar or whatever,
The
whatever it was?
the scalette. That's the like cristoli.
Do you remember this?
You know the cristoli, like the
Oh, it's the bread thing.
the
Yeah.
Italian
Yeah,
biscuit
yeah,
sugar
yeah,
bread.
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So like my nonna used to make boxes like that big and bring like 5 of them to our house, and I'd just take one to school and chuck it in the spare locker. It's great. Yeah,
Dude, those were like some of the best snacks
they were
I've
amazing.
ever had.
Yeah, and the wafers.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah. So
Sorry, I don't want to bring up a bad memory,
No,
but I
that's
just remembered something. I remember when you got alcohol poisoning in year 12.
yeah, not my finest night.
Yeah, I was with you. I was with you that night, and that was when I
Dude.
was still on the apple juice, orange
Apple
juice.
juice. Yeah.
Schoolies was the
I was at
craziest
Schoolies.
week. It was actually nuts.
Yeah.
Like so, I think that week I was actually like I drank a lot, but it was my house.
I just
that,
remembered it. That's why.
like it was my house that everyone stayed at, and I was like, I'm gonna be fairly responsible and drink, but not like get hammered. And then unfortunately, the Saturday was my birthday, and then it was just like everything was.
Do you remember Sandy punching that hole in the door? in
I
your
didn't see him.
garage?
I didn't see him do it.
But you like remember?
Oh, I remember the hole. Yeah, I remember having. I remember telling. It was so bad, man. When I got home, the amount of trouble I got in with everyone was just crazy.
What about my PlayStation?
Yeah, what about
Yeah.
those certain coloured people that stole Kevin's PS3?
Yeah, how crazy.
Reverse key cheaters, huh?
Yeah, that was partly my fault. Well, it's probably all my fault, but yeah, it
I
was.
don't think it was your fault. I think it was the people
No,
who
it
brought
wasn't your fault.
Look, they shouldn't have been there.
it was the people who brought them in.
Yeah, but oh well, like it happened, and that's okay. But I just remember when we realized the PlayStation was gone. It was so bizarre. Do you remember how like it happened?
Yeah, because
We had the
we had one morning, and then me and whoever was like, oh, let's just play PlayStation today.
the way I remember it was we had the red frogs over cooking us pancakes, and then
Oh, the red frog.
we asked one of them, "Oh, do you want to play a game of FIFA?" And they're like, "Oh no, I've got to go." And then someone asked, I think you might ask, "Oh, who wants to play me in FIFA?" And then we looked, and it was gone. And we're
Yeah.
like, oh no, like it's been stolen.
Was it like neatly stolen or just everything was like pulled out?
Well,
and
they
then-
stole that. They stole some phone
They
chargers.
stole a speaker as well.
Yeah, they
if I
stole a
remember.
speaker. I think a little bit of cash. Yeah, so it was disappointing.
Was it a bit of a downer? Because I
Oh,
didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I remember I was like, oh, Kev was so...
Okay, no.
Kev broke my arm.
No. This
He
story-
broke the railing
This
on
story is
my...
wrong. This story is wrong.
No, he
Dude,
did.
let him
Hold on,
explain.
hold on, hold
This
on.
story is
Hold
great.
on, let him say his
Hold
story.
on.
Go
So
ahead.
there's a lot of elements. It's a big story, this one. But after the whole thing happened, we realized it was gone. I remember Kev was on the balcony and he's like,
That is not
What
right.
is-
Yeah, shut up.
That is
Let
not
him,
true.
Kev's like-
let him talk.
Kev's like, what is going on? He's pacing up and down, and then there was a soccer ball on the balcony, and he has smacked this ball so hard, and it's hit the railing on the balcony, and the railing's gone, and it's hanging off. And then I'm like, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna tell him off. Like he's like, fair enough. Like it's all good. But yeah, so yeah, that did happen, Kev. Absolutely.
PS3.
No, I did break the railing, but it wasn't on that day. It was on our last day because I was kicking the ball at Matt Lamb.
Nah,
We were
man.
playing soccer
Know
together.
what I
and
remember.
tried
I
to
believe
boot it in
Dusky
his
stuff.
face.
Know what I remember? I reckon.
This and the Anna story, I'll take to heaven, bro.
But, yeah.
Because I can imagine how pissed you were. Like losing your
I was about to
Oh.
buy a PS4 anyway
he was so
But
angry.
you never
about it.
did. Did
I
you?
did.
No, he
Oh,
did.
did you?
He did. But he was so angry, which is fair enough.
because we had our.
We were all angry though. Like I remember, I called my brother and I'm like, "Get your mates. We're gonna get these guys and stuff." And
And you got alcohol poisoning that night instead.
the night before, yeah,
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, it was crazy. There's a lot of bad stories about that as well with other people too. Like the Sandeep's car and that sort of thing.
Sandeep's car.
Yeah.
What happened to Sandeep's car?
Well, so there was only so we had like 16 guys at Rye, and only 2 people could drive. Like we had 2 cars, and so
Sandeep and Lucas.
I think Benson had left by then, so we had like 1 car, and it was Sandeep's. And so Sandeep was the only person, and Matt Lamb had a license. And so Sandeep had pretty much drank a whole bottle of whiskey. And so he obviously couldn't drive because Tiv's like, come and get him. Like he's gone. Get him home, right? And then Sandeep's like, I can't, man. Like I'm done. Like I've drank so much. And Sandeep was probably like, couldn't move, yeah. And then they're like, oh, let's get Matt Lamb to get like Dusky. Like take Sandeep's car, get him. And Matt Lamb instead drove down to Rye Main Beach and went to the parties.
What a dog!
I end up getting abused by people on the road, ambulance called, and then I go to hospital. How crazy.
Oh, and you were sick. Oh,
Yeah.
I was dying.
he
I
was.
was nearly dead,
Yeah,
man.
too.
I sculled like a glass of rakia like
Yeah,
after
dude.
drinking all day. That stuff's like 60%.
Nah, I'll never forget the first time I tried.
Did you try it?
I didn't go to schoolies.
Oh,
Never went to schoolies. That's another.
you didn't come to mine.
Yeah, I didn't go to Rye.
I thought you were there.
No, I didn't go because I had
Oh.
obsessive
Screw you.
What?
an obsessive
No,
ex.
it's just a message to someone.
Oh.
But anyways,
I didn't know you didn't go. That's crazy.
yeah, I'll never forget the first time I tried rakia. It was in someone's flask.
Yeah.
I had one like just like that, and I don't remember the rest of the night.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It smells like gasoline.
Yeah.
It is gasoline.
Yeah. And I used to down it pretty good, but since that day, every time I smell it, I feel like I want to puke. Like it's so bad.
You haven't had it since then,
I
or
have maybe like once or twice, but not like to that
gives you
level.
bad memories?
Yeah, and I always, whenever I have it, I'm like, it's so bad.
So who was the first person at the hospital to?
So when I woke up, so I think I went to the hospital about 9ish, and when I woke up, it was 5 in the morning, I think, or 6. Tiv was there, and I just remember waking up, and I had drips in me, like IV drips, and I just remember needing to like piss real bad, and I'm like, I wake up, I'm like, where am I? And I see Tiv on the chair. I'm like, Tiv, and then he's like, Dusky. I'm like, man, I need to piss. Like, where's the toilet? Where am I? He's like, you're in hospital, mate. I'm like, what? And then yeah, and one thing led to another. We eventually got home. Sandeep was asleep in his car. So I don't know how that ended up happening, but he was asleep in his car in the car
With the hole in the door.
And then he drove me back. I slept on the bed, and there were the random guys there at the front. And yeah. So.
Yeah.
Or was Matt Lamb still partying?
Don't know what he was doing at that stage. Yeah.
Tiv went with you in the ambulance to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then me and Matt Lamb just like went back to
And
the place.
the other thing I remember asking Tiv was like, oh, like, just don't tell my parents, yeah? And he's like, sorry, man.
Of course.
He goes, the ambulance called your parents. Like, he goes, I tried to call your brother. He was drunk at a nightclub. I tried to call your sister. I tried to call your other brother. They didn't.
Were you underage at that point?
No, I just turned 18 that day. Yeah, so I was
That's
legal.
crazy. A lot of the guys were under 18.
Yeah, everyone was. Yeah,
It was a messy weekend, man.
yeah. And when I got home, man, I got berated by my mum so bad. And then she was going to cancel our 18th.
Oh, yeah, true.
But she didn't want to cancel on you, so we got to have it.
Oh, very
So-
smart.
So lucky.
Good
so
you planned it together then.
She was so pissed. Yeah.
Oh, good memories, man.
Yeah, it was a crazy week.
Yeah, I remember because I'm pretty sure we still had school, didn't we? Or was that it?
Nah, we were done.
We were done.
We had like our graduation, and the very next day we had schoolies. Yeah, we had that.
Then it was probably at the 18th. I remember.
The 18th was good.
Yeah, not everyone like talking about how you got alcohol poisoning. That was crazy.
You know what I remember from the 18th really well was Alex was absolutely hammered. He was like throwing up in the street, I'm pretty sure.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he was. It was a good 18th.
Yeah, it was a good.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of memories on that day too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
that was-
if
that was
you know
good.
what I mean.
Yeah. You raking my bark at the front of the house.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that. Talking about the nighttime activities there.
Oh, yeah.
If you know what I mean.
But I want to go because we're going a bit everywhere. But
As usual with
yeah,
us.
sorry. Like going back with your purchasing of your house, just to give some value to the people who are possibly listening. Like, what would your advice be in purchasing a house? Or
The advice would be to make sure that you have enough money to comfortably live with once you've bought it. So like I didn't buy once I had a 10% deposit. It's like I bought once I had 15% deposit with the girlfriend. So it makes it easy. You got 2 incomes. And I have enough savings once I put that deposit down to actually just buy stuff for the house, couches, beds, whatever it might be. So like my advice would be not to get like a really small deposit because it can backfire, especially with the current interest rates and stuff. So, yeah, I guess like don't rush as well would be my other piece of advice. Like there's no need. I mean, I did it when I was 24 or 25, 24, which is pretty reasonably, I guess, middle or early, maybe. But
I consider it early.
Early?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a need to rush. If you've got a good stable home life with your family, there's no need. Like,
But I think everyone gets to that point where you just gotta move out.
well, I wasn't desperate to move out. I saw an opportunity to buy an investment as well. So houses always appreciate that sort of thing. So it's a good idea to invest in a house, I guess. And I've never really bought anything before that. I mean, like I don't own anything. I own a PS5 prior to that, and I own that's about it. My parents decided to give me the van after that. Yeah. I drive like a soccer mum car, but
Yeah, you do.
that's about it. That's like all I own. Like, I actually don't own anything.
But then
So I saved a lot.
yeah. Like purchasing with Sabrina.
Yep.
Like, did you guys have to iron out like what you guys? Oh, this is what we're gonna do, or did you guys just go ahead and just kind of?
We discussed it a lot, maybe for about 5 months prior. Just saying, if we do this, like what sort of price range are you looking at? Where should it be? Because she lives in the north, I live in the west as well. We decided to move west because it was cheaper for the area that you get, and the houses are newer than the northern houses. So a lot about location, a lot about price, that sort of thing. Yeah, and obviously we made a contract when we did it because we're like, if we ever break up, this is what we do. So we have one there. I don't think we ever signed it or anything, but it's there.
Oh, that's very smart.
So we've got a plan just in case, like,
Yeah.
break glass in case of emergency sort of thing.
That's so good.
Yeah. I think you have to have that. Like,
Is that
if
what
you
a
don't-
prenup is?
Similar to, but
yeah.
that seems more of a like mutual.
Yeah, it was just a mutual agreement. Yeah. So, yeah. I guess that was pretty much it.
Get out of jail free card right there.
Yeah, well,
No.
if worse comes to worse, I guess that's always there for one. So,
And like transitioning from, I don't know, this is a bit of a weird question, but from a girlfriend to like someone you're living with, like
Yeah.
how was that transition?
it was actually all right. Like, it wasn't too bad. I guess we had lockdowns before that, and so we would spend a few days like with each other because I was teaching from home, and when she wasn't working, she's a nurse. When she wasn't working, we would just when I'm not teaching and she's not working, we just spend a lot of time together. So it wasn't that bad. But obviously it was more for me moving out from my parents who did everything. That was the biggest learning curve. Yeah. Not having someone cook for you all the time. Although Sab does more of the cooking than me, which is what I demand. But
It's part of the contract.
well, it's just the way that our roles go, I guess. Yeah. She's a better cook than me, so.
And you bring home the bacon, bro. You bring home the bacon.
That's it. And well, I mean, she always talks about I want to retire, and I'm like, well, if I ever make enough money, I'd love that because then I'd have someone there to do all the stuff that I don't necessarily want to do, and it's taken care of for me. So, yeah.
Man, it's like you transitioned into adulthood so fast.
That was probably the big change, I think. Yeah. I think that was probably the biggest change in my life ever, I think. Yeah. And getting a girlfriend was a pretty big change because I was always single before that. So that was a pretty big change too. Not that she made me change my behaviors or anything, but just more like you always have someone that's always there.
Yeah, no,
like,
no, of course you have to change. You can't be getting alcohol poisoned like every weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Some relationships work
We
like
still sometimes.
Nah, but I know what you mean.
Nah, but she's like chill. Like, we don't. But yeah, I guess you have something else. You have another responsibility, and you explore a lot more. I think you do a lot more things because you got someone to do it with.
Yeah, and it's a bit safer.
Yeah, and we go we've been on so many places together, like different areas of Melbourne and regional Victoria, and we did a road trip up to Byron Bay. We did a road trip up to Adelaide. Just things like that, which I wouldn't have done probably. Well, if I did it with my mates, I'd get like 4 of them, and it would never get organised. You know what I mean? Yeah. Although we did go to Thailand with 11 of us, so that did happen last year.
That's so good.
Good times.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, good trip.
That's so good, man.
Yeah.
It's such a refreshment to kind of see you. Like, I haven't seen you since probably, I don't know.
Ages.
For a minute, man.
Yeah.
And to see, I was always telling Kev, I'm like, man, if I If I get kids, I'm not putting them in the school that Dusky's in.
No, you're not.
No, it's definitely
Believe me, all my friends say that.
definitely TV school. I'm not putting it in that
Yeah,
school.
no, I agree.
I think Tim's actually a pretty good teacher from what I hear.
No, but like I can tell like you're passionate about teaching.
Yeah, I think I'm actually like not being cocky, but I think I'm reasonably good at it.
I think I can tell.
Yeah,
I can
so-
tell.
You know, my kids want to be in my class, and I pride myself on that. So
Yeah.
yeah, the feedback they give me is really good. We do a lot of that stuff, like getting feedback from them, and it's always really positive. So
Is it hard to kind of be mates with the?
I'm not mates with the kids. No, no way. No, I chat to them like, what are you doing for the weekend, stuff like that. But I'm not like, I'll never
Let's go out for bevs.
I'll never pretend.
What-
I'll never.
what the-
I never talk like unprofessionally in front of them and stuff like that. Whereas some teachers do. I just don't like that. I think it just leads to problems. So nah, I don't do that. Nah, like
And,
they're not my friend. They're not my friend. But once they finish school, sure, I'll go for a beer with them. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about like dealing with the other teachers? Are there some that are a bit like, oh, you're a bit of a weirdo?
teachers are interesting. I always say, I said it once in an interview, which slightly cost me a position, but teachers are whingers, man. Teachers whinge so much about everything, and we've actually got it really good, in my opinion, especially in my school. Like,
Yeah, you better shut up about your pay, man.
Yeah.
You're good.
yeah, nah, people like complain a lot in the teaching industry. People move a lot because they complain, but like it's just
I
strange.
think it's a big part of you're passionate.
I guess so. No, it's good to, I guess, want better things, but I don't know. I've got nothing to whinge about, in my opinion. But I mean, it'd be nice to get paid more, but like that's the career I chose.
Yeah.
I don't,
And I think the what you sow into the kids and then seeing that like come out of them, I think that's way more, I think that gives you more satisfaction. I can tell.
And the thing I don't like about some teachers is they don't put them first. Like your whole job is to put the kids first. And some teachers are lazy and they'll just put themselves.
Yeah, because
And-
some are just trying to get by.
Yeah, and they wing every class. They don't prepare properly. They don't actually teach with any passion. And I'm like, that's a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like you might as well just tell the kids to grab a textbook and read. You know what I mean?
Damn, you know where we're sending our kids then.
Nah, but you know what I mean? Like when I'm on the board, like I'm not a dance monkey, but you gotta be entertaining in some way. You gotta be
You're not a what?
a dancer.
I'm not a dance monkey.
Oh,
Like, you know,
dance monkey.
you gotta be engaging. You gotta like talk to them and make it apply to them and stuff like that. And not maths doesn't always apply, but you gotta try.
And it's so much more easier to just kind of read off the book rather than going home and then doing your study, than
Yeah.
kind of creating the.
Exactly. And like, yeah, I make my own notes for everything and my own examples and stuff, and I get exam questions so that they know what they're getting into. And yeah, it's about creating a lesson that's actually good. Like you don't want to just walk in with nothing. So yeah, I feel like I'm a good teacher.
Yeah. Do you think kids' attention spans suck now?
A little. Some of them do, but I'm pretty lucky because I teach methods. The kids are quite smart.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. But like in a VM class, yeah, you'd be talking to them and they just like sometimes they just lose their way and geez, yeah, it's just crazy.
How are the gooks doing there? Are we still smart?
Yeah, you're still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my top students in methods are yeah.
What about the Indians? They're getting
Yeah,
up
they're
there?
good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Especially the Asians though. Like
The what?
the Asians are really good.
Yeah. Have to.
They have no choice, I think.
Exactly.
Oh, dude, I had
From
this.
both.
I had this parent-teacher interview with this. I've got two Asian twins, right?
Oh.
I can't tell them apart.
Yeah.
Okay. They do the exact same things. They hardly talk, and when you call them on the roll, like I'll say their name. Yeah. Say his name. Yeah. They do the same thing every time. Anyway, they were both there, and they got a pretty bad result in their last sack. And the mum was like crazy. She's like, "Oh, so what do you think the problem is?" And I would explain, "This is what I think they're not doing right." And then she'd be like, "Ha ha ha." And just like death stare both of them, and I'm like,
You know what that reminds me of? The like episode in Superwog when
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they're doing the parent teacher
Yeah.
interviews. It's like Lee, you got a 90%. Like he's doing my taxes already. Like he's on top of the class, and then the mom's still giving it to him. Oh, so that's real.
yeah,
Man.
like that. She was nuts. Yeah, it's interesting. They got so much more pressure on them, and then you get some parents and like their kids failing, and they're just like, like whatever. They don't really care,
Oh.
which is sad.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny about parent-teacher interviews? I remember one time in Heathdale, Kevin was like at a table near me with his teacher, and I was with mine. And Kev's like translating for his parents. And I'm like, imagine the amount of rubbish Kev is spitting to his parents that the teachers aren't saying. Like,
Yeah.
did you used to lie?
Yep.
Of course.
All the time.
See, I
So
remember
good.
you said you wouldn't give your reports sometimes because they wouldn't. Even...
Bro, they still don't even know my real ATAR.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you think that they think you got like a 90?
I told them I got like a 70, like 75,
Oh.
and I was a bit less than that.
But yeah, I remember you used to always be there talking like Chinese or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was
Vietnamese.
so
Chinese.
Vietnamese. It was
Nah, he's not
so
Vietnamese.
he
Did
changes nationality every day.
Thank you.
He does. He actually does.
He does.
Like even like say he's talking to Sabrina and he's saying like one day they're both Viet, the next day they're not. Like,
He doesn't
I don't get
speak
it.
Vietnamese.
I don't know about you, but I was speaking Viet to Sabrina on
You
Monday.
got your words wrong too.
So did she.
Nah, she got him.
She got them wrong, I got them right.
I don't know.
Have you been to Vietnam yet?
Nah, not yet. I'd like to go
Planning
actually.
to? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah.
We should go together.
Yeah, why
I'd be,
not?
I'd be down for Vietnam. I think New Zealand's my next destination though. But that could be like a honeymoon destination to be honest.
Hey.
But New Zealand, like, it looks sick. It's my kind of place, I think. Nice mountains. And I didn't go in year 11, or year 10, which I should have.
No,
but
big
us-
congrats, man.
Yeah.
It's really good to see, like, how you've progressed in life and everything, man. But I got another question for you. This is a bit of a touchy subject. How do you feel about people that don't attend your baptism there?
Geez, I think most people attended.
Yeah, and like maybe 95% of the people you invited.
Yeah, no, but it's okay. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Would you say you grow apart from people as you grow older as well? Nah, I love you, Dusky.
Nah, that's all right. But no, that was a good day.
No, I want to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah,
So
sure.
you made the decision to get baptized.
Yeah, so I
That's
guess
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was. It really was. So my pastor sort of came up to me and spoke to me about it earlier this year, and just said like, "Is it something you're interested in?" I'm like, "I'll get back to you. I've thought about it for a long time, but never sure when to do it." And yeah, it felt like the right time. Sort of.
It's because I did it first.
Well, that
Yeah.
definitely helped, and even like Sabrina would always
Pretty
ask
sure
me.
Jesus did it. But okay.
Sabrina would always ask me as well, like, you know, are you...
Shut up, bro.
Yeah, she'd ask like, what are you thinking about in regards to it and stuff, and we talk about it all the time and stuff. And then yeah, so I just decided to go for it and set a date, and yeah, it was really, really good. So I think it was something that I'd thought about for a long time, and it was good to sort of get
It's a
it
big
done.
decision.
It is a big
in all
decision. It
honesty.
is, absolutely it is. And I think I struggled a lot with Christianity between the ages of like 18 and 21.
Yeah.
Particularly, like I just partied every weekend. Like
Yeah.
every single, like 3 times a weekend. It's crazy. But not that was like that bad of a thing. Like I wasn't like a drug addict or anything, but like
I don't think anyone said that.
I see you looking at me, David.
No, I didn't even think that. You just went straight to drug. No, keep going.
But yeah, so I felt like the last couple of years during lockdown, I had more opportunity to sort of just think about religion and stuff, and it felt right. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think it's so much more of a big deal when you make the decision when you're older,
yeah,
because you obviously have an understanding of how the world works, and
yeah.
you're not
yeah.
doing it for the sake of because
And-
your parents are telling you to
And
do
you can
it.
apply it into your real life. You can apply your beliefs to
Yep.
your real life every day. So it's weird because my nephew's getting baptized in a couple of weeks, and he's like an infant, like he's 0 years old, like he's a few months old. And I don't know how I personally feel about it in terms of that, but obviously it's not my choice. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like I prefer adult baptism. Like didn't Jesus got baptized when he was an adult?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Isn't that the
I never
way-
thought of it that
I
way.
feel like that's the
Yeah, you got to make your own choice when it comes to baptism.
yeah. Like I don't mind
Just like
having
everything else.
some sort of a ceremony when they're born or something.
Yeah.
but
I agree. Yeah.
I feel like a baptism is a real commitment, public
Yeah.
commitment. So,
I think there's like a dedication, a baby dedication.
yeah,
in the
and that's what
beginning.
my church has done in the past. And I've got no issue with that.
Yeah.
But
That's big. Good,
So-
good job, man.
So there was someone who didn't attend your baptism. And
Yeah.
I'm sure we both know, or all 3 of us know who that is.
yeah.
And I remember you having like a bit of like a paragraph for that particular person.
Yeah, I
in your
did.
speech.
I did. Yeah.
So
I did. He was actually a big influence.
This is just from me. Did you not read that on purpose, or did you actually forget?
No, I missed it. No, I genuinely missed it. And I remember he messaged me after, and he said, "Can I access it anywhere?" And I said, "Well, it's not out yet, like on video, but I'll send you my document." And I said, "It's funny though because I wrote a whole paragraph about you, and I actually forgot to read it on the day." And he's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I don't know why, but
'Cause I told him that, and he thought I was just taking the piss.
well, I genuinely didn't mean it. I sort of jumped around in my script. I didn't really follow it. I just spoke.
Yeah, I do remember. It was a good script.
Yeah, got a few laughs, which is good. It's always good.
Yeah, I know what you said to get laughs. I remember that.
Good to keep people entertained. So
And you were the only one getting baptized that day.
there were 2 other people, but they didn't give a testimony. And I didn't know who they were. They were from a different church. So I did it at a different church to mine. So they were from that church.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
So, would you go to our Year 12 reunion that we're trying to organise?
absolutely, man. It's weird because does Heathdale organise it themselves?
No, we have to do it.
Because my brother, for example, he graduated Emmanuel College in 2013. He had his 10-year reunion this year, and it was organised by some guy that works there now. So no one at Heathdale does
Dude, our
that.
school sucks.
Yeah.
No one does that.
No.
So it's got to be done by the.
We have to do it. One of us have to, you know.
I reckon it'd be
Just-
great. Where would you guys do it?
It would have to be like at a small hall or something, I reckon.
I was going to say Crown. You're like high, like a function hall.
And I was
Crown.
listening to your last podcast. Were you anti or for +1s? I can't remember.
Nah, I think we agreed
Yeah.
no plus
No
ones.
+1s.
Did
Yeah.
we? No, I think we changed to having plus. I'm pretty sure.
It's an interesting thing.
It would be so fun.
Yeah.
I mean, just seeing you, like, and
Yeah.
I don't remember. Like, it must have been we had a boys hang at yours, like post grad.
Yeah.
And we had those pizzas. And it was
Barbecue.
Yeah, and it was like your mates and then our mates.
Yeah, it
as
was
well.
good. I remember that day. It was
That was
great.
a long time ago.
I had a
reckon-
second one too, but it wasn't as big. I remember, but it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't invited, but 6, 7.
No, you know who wasn't actually? I remember I put a post up of our photo, like all the boys, and the first person to comment it was Danny Yang, and he's like, "Wow, this looks like fun," or something. And I was like, I commented back like, "Oh, well, I actually forgot to invite." I'm like, "I'm so sorry, dude." Like, I said sorry on a Facebook comment.
That's when you know you're getting old. You reply on Facebook like that.
Yeah, it was funny. That was a good day though.
It would be good to do a reunion, man.
Yeah, I miss a lot of the guys. Like I think back to year 12, you hang out with people that I don't hang out with now. I miss like Nicky. Like, I saw Nicky on your podcast. He was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that guy was gold in year 12.
Yeah.
Nathan Benson, people like that you haven't seen in
Nathan.
years. They're great.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
just saying he's the hottest one in the year level for sure.
Bit of a stud, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon.
I used to always tell him that
Oh, it was you. Oh,
that he should date my cousin. I used to say to him. All the
no,
time.
no, you used to. Oh, it was you that used to say that his dad looked like a certain someone. Now I remember. Now I remember. It's coming back.
Yeah,
It's coming back.
I used to give him so much for that.
Nah, he loved it.
It was
he
you.
hated
Wait,
it.
All the memories are coming back when you gave that so much crap to William for his jacket.
Oh yeah. That
And
was
he what was it?
he was
Williamstown.
depressed, dude.
Yo, we bullied.
He was
No,
depressed.
it was Dusky.
It was us.
It was
It was,
Dusky.
it was our group.
It was our group.
Yeah, that was funny as.
We bullied him.
Like,
Like he
so-
wouldn't wear it for like a
I
week.
remember we all got our jackets and we were like ready. He's like, Williamstown? What do you mean you got Williamstown on the back? And he got it because one of the girls told him to get
Yeah.
it. And we gave it to him so much that the next day he was the only person not
Yeah.
wearing his jacket.
Every time he'd walk in the room, we'd be like, ha ha ha, Williamstown. We did that the whole day.
I actually forgot about that. That's so funny. Yeah.
Far out. Yeah, you were an actual bully. Man.
I bullied Will the most.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Will-
But you guys bullied just the
Oh,
mates.
Kev was bad though.
Yeah.
Kev used to like
Yeah, let's not go
say
there.
some
Let's not go
real dirty things about his
Oh, his sisters.
yeah.
Kevin, man.
Why'd you bring that up, man?
Kev used to cross some lines.
I got
man.
baptized too, bro.
You're lucky that William didn't like clock you one day.
He remember that?
Oh, he
bruise
used to punch,
He
yeah.
gave me
Yeah.
for that poem I wrote
Mm.
about. Yeah. Let's not go there.
Oh, the
He
poem.
punched you.
Yeah.
The
He punched you
poem.
because he got mad.
Yeah.
What are you
No,
doing?
If you read that poem out today, your podcast would be cancelled.
Yeah.
It would not last.
It rhymed though.
It did rhyme, but
Yeah.
it would not last.
Good job, it right.
Thanks.
It was so bad.
Oh, but what would be something you'd look forward to in the reunion, besides seeing everyone? Like, would you host? Would you do it?
At my
I think
house?
you'd be. No. As in like.
Oh, would I MC?
Yeah, would you MC, man?
Oh, maybe. I think I'd make a good MC.
I think you would make a good
Yeah.
MC.
You know,
You're a public
I've
speaker.
always wanted to host like. Actually, I did with the year 12, so I've always wanted to like host trivias. Trivia's sick. I love trivia. But yeah,
That wouldn't be a bad idea
pub trivia.
to do a trivia on the night. Who stole Maria's? And then everyone puts in their answer. Oh man.
Do like a Kahoot. Yeah, I'd love to go. It'd be
So who
great.
do you think stole Maria's $200?
I'm just so curious.
Nikki definitely did. Well, at least that's what I believe. I think that was what the rumor was, wasn't it?
That's crazy.
The rumor, that rumor came
that's what
from
Tivy-
Tiv.
No, I reckon she just lost it. I reckon she just.
Nah.
No.
It was in her locker.
Funny story about her actually.
Oh.
I remember in year 12, someone's like, "Oh, did like something about? Oh, did you see like Maria's story last time?" I'm like, "Oh no, I don't have her on Instagram. Let me like look her up and I'll give her a follow and have a look." And I can't remember what it was. It was like something about school, I think. And then I went to look her up and it wasn't there. And I'm like, "Oh, she must have me blocked, right?"
Yeah.
And I like, not that I was upset, but I asked her the next day. I confronted her. I'm like, "Maria, why do you have me blocked on Instagram?" And then she was like, "I don't have you blocked on Instagram. What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Can you check? Because I'm pretty sure you do." And she did. I don't know why. I don't know what I did. She must have hated me one day and just said, "Nah, you're getting blocked."
This is where all the confessions are gonna
Damn,
come out now.
What else you got to let out?
No, now we gotta get Maria on and ask her why she blocked
Yeah,
Dusky.
she had me blocked, man. I actually bumped into her 2 years ago too.
at Plaza.
Nah, at a bar.
Oh,
We're
yeah?
at the same birthday, but then she left as soon as I got there.
Oh, and she reblocked
Blocking me in real life. As soon as I walked in, said hi, left.
See ya. Maybe
Okay.
you did something that you don't know.
I don't know. I think I used to piss off a lot of women. I reckon.
The girls, the
Yeah. A
I don't
lot.
remember you pissing off.
Nah,
just Tivy.
more in the last few years. Yeah, Tiv. Oh, the girls hated Tiv. They did.
Yeah, they did.
hated him. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
But I feel like that was like Tivy's way of trying to be like, oh, I like you, but then I'm gonna like annoy you.
They're just swatting him.
Talk to me.
But nah, like man, me and women sometimes. Like I've been called a misogynist. I've been called a misogynist a lot over the years, and I don't think I am. But yeah, but I've been called a racist too and stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, from
That's
me.
fine. We're all a little bit racist.
I don't mind a bit of humor.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with it.
as long as you're not, the guy like tying them up and then
Like
hanging them off a
discriminating.
tree or something. You know what I mean?
Not like discriminating.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah,
a little
nothing
bit
wrong
of
with casual racism.
Okay, yeah.
too much marshmallows nowadays.
Yeah,
don't you
agree.
believe?
What award do you think you get if we had our Year 12 reunion?
What award would I get?
Yeah.
Far out. I'd definitely be leading like
misogynist.
most alcohol drank since year 12. I would absolutely be like leading that.
Most alcohol. That's a good award.
I'd be streets ahead. I can't think of anyone that would come
Streets
close.
ahead.
Like when I think back to my days, like from 18 to 21, 22, my Europe trip,
No, this is a good one. Most reformed. Who would that be?
most reformed. Like who was the degenerate in high school that's come good?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can tell you're most informed, but we might have to bleep it.
Reformed?
Yeah.
Oh,
Most reformed.
just say it.
Rip-
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Nah, that it should be up there.
Nah, I don't believe it.
Oh, my
I'm pretty sure we could go back. We could cut in some bits.
But yeah, anyways, she's the most reformed. in my
Okay.
opinion.
All right. I don't want to keep you too long, Dusky.
That's all
but,
right. It's been good.
we do appreciate you coming on, man, and thank you for answering all our random questions. But as tradition, we always want to ask you one last question before we let you go. If you could go back to, Dusky in year 10 when he just came to Heathdale,
Yeah.
what's one thing that you could give advice for him if like you could see him right there?
Geez, that's a good question. I would have probably told him to try a little harder with his subjects. Try and make his family a bit more proud of them moving him schools to try and do better. So that would be one thing. And the other thing would probably be not be too concerned about, I guess, social groups and stuff, and just just find people that you like
Yeah.
and not worry about, oh, I don't know if they have any friends or not. So that'd probably be the main thing. As I said, I think Heathdale went pretty well, so I can't really.
Yeah, I think that's what I loved about our year level, in honesty. The
Yeah.
cliques weren't that prominent. You know what I mean? Like, you could literally go from one group, talk to them, go to another one. And I think everyone was like that. It wasn't
Yeah.
just like, oh, what are you doing here? Why are you talking to us?
Yeah.
Everyone was so chill, especially year 11, 12.
Except for one person that I can think of.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Can we bleep it out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bleep it out.
Oh,
Oh.
You know what?
Brandon.
I started.
about it.
I started on the same day as him. We started together, and actually that was my first memory of Heathdale. Was me, him, and Mr. Pollard, and me thinking
Yeah, so do I.
this dude's a bit weird, but he was acting all tough because he came from like Galvin or something. He was talking about like.
Did you give him a hard time?
No, not at all. I just like.
Oh, we did definitely.
The thing that I really remember.
I was just trying to test him. You're such a liar. I knew you gave him a hard time.
Nah, man, not to his face. Like I'd probably shit behind his back, but not to his face. He didn't deserve to be mocked. Oh, maybe he did, but
No, he
No.
But what I remember the worst thing. Sorry, I know we're going a bit over time, but
No.
the worst thing was year 12 camp, and there was your boys group, and there was our boys group, and we all had our names on the cabin, one each. And then at the bottom, all you see is this name coming up. I won't say the name again.
Yeah,
but you
so
see,
you can say
you
the
see
story.
it. You see the name coming up on your cabin, crossed out. Our cabin, crossed out. Your cabin underneath that, crossed out one, crossed out. Our cabin, crossed. So
No
someone
one
from
taken.
each of our groups was chucking him into our cabins because no one wanted. How bad is that? That's awful. Anyway, long story short, he ended up in our cabin. He actually wasn't too bad. I remember. Yeah.
But I want to keep going. I want to add to this story because there was someone from my group that saw him up post grad, right? And just like had a chat with him. And he was saying that a lot of the guys in our year level like really gave him a hard time.
Really?
Yeah. And he said this to that guy. And a lot of, we're not trying to say we're homophobes, but a lot of us apparently assumed that he was, he was gay. And we kind of gave him a hard time for it. But I wouldn't say we did, but
I don't think I gave him a hard time, but I did definitely assume he was gay.
All right, let's admit it. Yeah, I did too, but it's just because this certain person was always
Flamboyant.
around. Yeah, and he was always around certain people, And then when we found out he had a girlfriend, we're like, "Are you sure?" Because no.
Does anyone remember his performance at Assembly that one time?
Oh man. Now you're bringing back some core memories
That's a good
about
one.
performances in assembly in general.
Yeah, in general.
Remember when that kid cried during Tyndale?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was
The spelling
bad.
the spelling bee, yeah.
Something like public
It was spelling,
speaking
it was
or
spelling.
that was bad.
He couldn't spell this word, and then he like just went.
Dude. And people were
He just
clapping.
ran to the back.
And people were like giving him a round of applause,
Yeah,
and I'm
we were
like,
clapping.
this dude just cost us the game, man. Like, he just, and I remember like looking around, like, what is going on? And I remember the performance of the guy doing like a cappella with his stomach.
Oh, that Max guy.
Yeah, do you
the
remember?
guy with the weird
So
hair.
like there were these 4 girls.
I do
with him.
remember that.
So there were 4 girls with him singing, and we're like, so what's he gonna do? Like because they're singing, we're like, so what's his role? Is he gonna be like the deep singer or something? And he starts just like making a beat. With his stomach.
I remember this.
It was the funniest. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen live. I don't think I'll ever see anything funnier than that.
Oh god, so many good memories, man.
Do you remember Sam Rees in public speaking when
What
he
did he
got
do?
that impromptu topic about dreams, and he started talking about wet dreams.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh yeah, dreams are cool. I have wet dreams," and he just did that for like 2 minutes.
Did he get told off?
Yeah, he got told off for
Imagine.
that.
Was that Tyndale?
Yeah, that was house debating.
I gotta say,
Or house public speaking.
Tyndale is like the best sporting program, like inter-school sports program ever, compared to like the Catholic school I went to. It's so good. You play you play one school for a week. How what's better than that in every sport?
How did you go in footy?
We lost,
Yeah.
we won in year 11, but we lost in year 12. But I remember I played all right. I remember Mrs. Steen hated me. And then after that game, she liked me because I played well. It was good.
Oh, you can have a good one, bro.
She hated me, man. Because we used to always belt the ball at her office. So fair enough.
She hated me too, man. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I
You
think
remember
so.
softball tryouts for?
Yeah. Well,
For
that's
Heathdale? And she
yeah.
just like sent me to like deep out left field or whatever.
well, that was the thing. She didn't pick me for the softball team, I remember. And I was the only person that hit a home run in
Yeah.
trials. And all the year 12s, because we were in year 11, all the year 12s, like, you have to pick him. He hit the thing. And then she finally put me in.
Oh, she can have a good one.
Yeah. She was I didn't like her at all.
She was a fat ass.
I hated her.
Okay, relax.
Yeah.
No, you got to beep that out.
Nah, I'm beeping that
I
out.
don't know if there's any other teachers I really didn't like, but she was one of them.
What about Mr. McLean?
Oh yeah, he was a toss. He was a toss, wasn't he? He was just really boring, like the most boring human being ever. And he was a textbook teacher.
Yeah.
He was read
Yeah.
and write like a million notes on the board. It's so boring.
No, and the voice was probably the most annoyingest part. It's so monotone.
Why are you late? Oh man. Remember that librarian that you used to like?
Pam?
The one with the glasses?
Angelovsky.
Nah, the one with the weird like blue glasses.
Yeah, that's Pam, isn't it?
Nah, she was old. This chick was young.
She was old.
This Angelovsky was old. This chick was young.
Yeah, I'm talking about Pam.
Oh, is that her name?
Yeah,
I
that's
thought you were
her
saying
name.
Pam was Angelovsky's first
Oh
name.
no.
Oh,
Yeah, like Pam.
yeah, you love
I don't know her last name. Yeah, she was cute. I know where this is going, but
I don't know.
yeah,
Just,
she's cute.
It was always funny.
Let's end it there. It's been good, be good 1 hour and a half. So, we appreciate you, Dusky, and I hope you guys got some sort of value from anything that we talked about today. Do you have anything else to take up?
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. I think we're about to go grab some apple juice,
Yeah.
and we're coming to the end of season 1, so stay tuned for any new updates from us.
And we love you guys, and keep listening to us, and keep supporting us. And again, if you guys want to come on, we're trying to take off everyone from the year level, and that's another. How many people have we got now?
5,
Oh.
4,
From our year level?
4.
Who's it? Nikki.
Ben, Therese, Dusk. Oh yeah, 4.
Yeah. Anyways.
Sorry.
All right. Well. Anything else?
Thanks for coming on today, Dusk.
No,
Thanks for making the drive.
Been an absolute pleasure. Loved it.
Hope you enjoyed
It's been great.
You're a pretty good public speaker, aren't you?
It's part of the job.
But yeah, well, tune in for the next one, guys. We love you guys. Stay safe, stay blessed, and always practice gratitude.
Bye bye.